now we can start again. 90s kids, okay.
Welcome to the episode 4 of SMS Retro.
Oh man, 90s kids.
What is it? What is it? Okay, so if I ask
When I
you...
think about 90s kids,
the fuck? Dude, where did you come from, bro?
there's an entrance down,
Okay.
downstairs. It's creepy.
But tell me this.
Yeah.
90s kids, what does it like bring to your mind whenever you think or whenever you hear the word 90s?
Honestly, I was there only for the last bit of 90s, so I can't say anything.
Yeah,
I
you're
was born
97 in it.
Yeah. So I can comment about 2000s if you want, but 90s I can't. Because for me 2000s...
Yeah, you hardly remember like... Yeah, me
I'll
neither,
tell you what
so-
it is. It was all about computers.
It was the boom.
Yeah. I used a floppy disk.
Yes, likewise, yeah. I remember like downloading games was like a taboo.
Oh god.
Every time you download a game, it's like you have a virus or some shit. Like,
difficult it was. You know the folder which jumps from one folder to the other?
yeah, it used to take like ages to.
Yeah. 14 days, bro.
A dial-up, my god. Can't
dial-up.
call people when you're on internet.
How did you? I don't know. I'm not gonna do that.
Man, it was fun though. I used to like jam to it. It's kind of like my jam. No, I'm serious. 90s vibes, but
Hey, don't pick up the phone. I'm using the internet.
yeah, my download just got interrupted because like I was using. I got a call and I picked it up.
Oh my god.
But no, the thing is, yeah, you can't use the phone or something like that. But yeah, I mean, whenever I look back and look at the 90s, kind of, it seemed some of the things that I really like was in fashion. I think in the 90s was the cars. Like, I mean, obviously cars were in fashion since whenever they were manufactured. But what I mean is like the way they looked. You know, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, I would say, they look so beautiful. Like, you know,
They look so beautiful
nice.
that they're still producing those cars today in those shapes.
Yeah, and now they call it like vintage.
Vintage,
Yeah.
Vintage.
And they
fashion.
make more money, in fact. So that's kind of like lame, but it is what
No,
it
it's
is.
not. It's all about
No, I'm saying for the manufacturers.
no, in the sense that good design or good content stays forever. Like you can talk about maybe 90s or 2000s songs. You know, Atif Aslam, Sonu Nigar.
Was it 90s?
That's Hindi I'm talking about. I know. English.
English is like
Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys,
my
NSYNC.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park is not 90s, maybe 2000s.
2000.
Yeah, more relatable.
We have a
I mean,
shared
90s
history.
kids, right?
90s kids,
That's what we
2000s
said.
kids
So
have a
it's
shared
not
history.
necessarily like 90s, but yeah, more like 90s kids, Linkin Park, NSYNC. What else? Backstreet Boys was okay, more older.
Maroon 5.
Maroon
I remember when the
5?
song Payphone came out.
Before was 2010s maybe.
2000s.
2000s, yeah.
I think so. Wow.
What else we had to go
Crazy.
through, man? Like, think about it in terms of like
What
events.
Events.
You know,
What
like
happened?
financial crisis in the
2008. Oh lord.
Then what else happened? Y2K, you know Y2K? I think it was 90s.
You remember 9/11?
No, I think we'll think cut time.
It's okay, man. It's fine.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I wasn't there, so I can't comment.
You're not doing dark humor over here, man. Shit. So fuck. Okay.
Oh, the thing about dark humor is, I recently went to a comedy show where this lad, he was on stage and he was trying to crack dark humor jokes. Now the thing about dark humor is you can't laugh out loud as you can at clean humor. Because it has to settle in and then you're just like, oh god. You have to digest it. So
Or you become the target of like people judging you.
No, it's not about judging. It's like, now I made dark humor joke. We didn't crack up like ha ha ha. No, we let it digest. We're like, oh god, we shouldn't be laughing about this, but we're laughing. That kind of it's a slow laugh. So this guy, he's performing and he's cracking dark humor jokes, and everyone it's a really quiet crowd.
Okay.
It's quiet because they're all processing the jokes and they're like, we shouldn't be laughing at this, but we are. They're
Bound to,
stifling
kind of.
their they're stifling their laughter. So it felt like it was not a good performance, but it really was. And there was a lot of grandmother jokes in there, which we won't get into.
Personally, if you ask me, I think I mean those, especially when you do crowd work and stuff like that, the crowd needs to be there, you know, with you. Like, I remember this thing where, so, I mean, okay, a fun story, yeah. So the first time I like was hosting, like it was probably my first time I had ever hosted in college. So like, the thing was I was trying to make jokes and PJs and things like that. So it was a very voluntary effort. I made a lot of preparation before I like actually went on stage. I had the jitters and all that, but then so I went on stage. You know, the most embarrassing thing for me was I mean, I cracked jokes on the singers, and it was in singing event. For those from bits, it's called Sparks. So it was very funny, and I mean, for myself and for people, it was so lame. I still, you know, cherish it. But there was this one thing, you know, Ed Sheeran, right?
Yep.
So I didn't know Ed Sheeran then. Okay. I mean,
This was which year?
2014, 15.
Let's speak Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. So I didn't know Ed Sheeran. Yeah, like, and thing is, I obviously was searching singers and all of that, trying to relate people to how they sing. So I go up on stage. So presenting to you the Ed Sheeran of Bits Pilani, Dubai. I didn't realize that I had made a mistake. So over a period of time, I realized.
Over a period of time means.
Yeah, not even that day.
Nobody corrected you?
Nobody corrected me.
Nobody laughed?
I was the host. I mean, that's
No.
so as
They must have thought you were making a.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So there, I was making a pun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's
kind of wordplay.
So
yeah.
it's about, you know, like it was very funny to me when I think about it. It's embarrassing because now I don't know if they really understand the joke or not. That's why when I'm telling about you knowing the crowd or trying to improvise, I'll underline the word improvise. It's very important. So when you use things like dark humor, you really need to know what's the kind of crowd that is coming.
That is true.
If you have some aunties or someone coming in or some old people.
No, this crowd was actually our age. You know,
Yeah.
between 20
Because
to 28.
I tell you, some of the comedy shows, they'll filter the crowd. They'll actually ask you questions beforehand. Like now TEDx, for example, we filtered the crowd. We asked them questions before we gave them the invite. So, I mean, I'm not saying like obviously you really can't control many things, but if you want to make it an exclusive event and the kind of you wanted to have that kind of crowd, you filter them. But it really depends on your star as well as to what extent that show is also there. So it takes time to really develop that. Not everybody can.
Basically.
Yeah, not everybody can do it. It really. So
Back to
90s. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as 90s, like I personally feel we went through a lot of shit.
I feel like we lost out a lot of candies and chocolates from that era. You know?
No, come on.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
Bites.
Boomerang.
Bites.
Bites was lovely. Oh, you mean like now?
Now
Yeah, they kind of discontinued all that shit.
Yeah.
Hearts.
Hearts is there.
Hearts is there, yeah.
Hearts is there. But it's not as popular as
Yeah,
it used to be.
yeah. Hide and seek. Chocolate.
It was a
big thing in school. Yeah.
If you had a hide and seek, you are
You are an OG.
you get
Top G,
you
top
get
G.
the guys, you get the girls. That's what you.
What?
In school, man, like if you open a hide and seek, they're like, oh man, this guy is special.
Yeah. I used to get over in like minutes.
Yeah, too quick.
Yeah. But then, yeah.
We lost a few singers since then.
Singers, yeah. Lot, yeah. I mean, Chester
Used to
from
listen-
Linkin Park.
Oh man, that was horrible.
Yeah, fucked up.
He even changed genre to, you know, what do you say, link to the current crowd at that time. You know,
Who?
they were
Linkin Park.
Yeah, they released a song
Yeah.
called Heavy.
Yeah,
That was the last
it
song?
wasn't, yeah, it wasn't that, yeah. I mean,
No,
but
it was nice for that time.
because of the situation, he died and they released Heavy. Because it was an unreleased song, as far as I remember. They hadn't released Heavy.
Really?
Yeah, so it was one of the unreleased songs from Chester's thing. So they released that. Just like how Michael Jackson died.
Dude,
They-
Michael Jackson.
Just how like Avicii died. Avicii,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that time they released all unreleased songs and they made artists. And there were a lot of DJs who partnered up and finished his song. So I feel as like 90s kids, we have like, you know, really we can't like encapsulate this in like 10 minutes. Probably we'll make a part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess stay tuned for part 2. We'll Continue.